Welcome back to the Relationship Whisperer Show with Miss Dragonfly, where we discuss all things relationships with the aim to make marriage great again. And now regarding making marriage great, and now I have an announcement. I have a brand new website. It is makemarriagegreatagain.net, and you can go on there, have a visit, because and get a copy of your free book that I've a free download of my book called Your Complete Partner: How to Choose a Partner for a Lifetime that will last a lifetime. So that is my gift to you, to everyone and all my listeners, my followers, and especially during this time that Valentine's Day is coming up. I know people are thinking about that, and that would be the subject of today's discussion as well. So go check out the website and download a copy of your a free copy of the book. Okay? So I have a guest today with me, and to talk about Valentine's Day and the man's perspective. I mean, previously I was doing it solo and discussing it on my own, but I thought, you know what? I'm a woman, and and obviously there would be things that I guess men would like to say on their own behalf. Though I do try to be fair and cover all sides. I do cover all sides, as you know. Especially from my past shows that you can tell. Yeah, I do go and bet for men, but at the end of the day, I'm a woman. I'm not a man, and I guess the guys there would like someone to speak their voice and speak for them as well. So, right in the studio, we're going live today, and so our guest today is Bluey. Welcome to the show, Bluey.
I'm keeping up the support for the men.
Keeping up the support for the man. Going to bat for the men today. The men's team. Okay. Well, in the end, though, it should be our team, not rather than my team and your team, or you and me.
There does seem to be a vast antagonism between male and female at many times. So.
But that should be put aside now that, love is in the air. Love is in the air. I think there's a song. That sounds like a song. Love is in the air.
You're not going to sing, are you?
No, that's not my talent. I was to say. But certainly love is in the air. Valentine's Day is just around the corner. And as you know what it means?
It means that blokes have got to go out and pay for dinner.
More than that. Or rather overpriced dinners. As I say, around this time, people should start seeing red roses being displayed everywhere, heart displays and teddy bears and chocolates and overpriced Valentine's Day dinners.
Should it be every day?
Yeah, it should be every day. I mean, the love. I mean, come on.
Why do we have to pay double price for roses? And
Yeah, I do agree that it is an excuse for gouging. Though, to be fair, with especially the flowers, the roses, the red roses, because it symbolizes, I guess, like pure romance. And I did speak to a florist once, and she said, no, it's not actually. Yes, it is the biggest event of the year, but it's not necessarily gouging by them. I mean, their costs go up. I mean, their suppliers, it's like triple, double and triple, even leaves and so forth, because you just don't have roses. I guess in a bouquet, if you think about it, there's leaves and foliage and things as compliments and make it nice. So
big day for the flower people.
Big day for the flower people. And as I understand it, I guess they're saying the florists, their biggest day is, of course, Valentine's Day. And then the second is Mother's Day. And then kind of Christmas. Christmas, not so much. I guess people there and...
So the father doesn't get nothing?
Huh?
The father gets nothing?
Well...
He gets some grass clippings after he's mowed the lawn.
Socks again. The Mother's Day, the socks. Mother's Day seems to be all pinky and flowers and chockies and things. And Father's Day seems to be like lawn mowers and tools and socks and more socks.
Yeah, well, we know why the price gouging works, because if you miss a Valentine's Day, it doesn't go down too well, does it?
It doesn't. Have you had
Blokes
that
don't
on
really
you?
care less.
Have you had that on
Blokes
you?
couldn't
Have
care
you?
less.
Look, it is look. I have to say, it is a bit of a competition amongst women.
Competition?
Yeah, look, in the workplace, especially offices, and it seems to Valentine's Day. I remember being in the office. There's always flower deliveries coming off.
So does any women actually send them to themselves?
I'm not sure about that. It could be, and then it's kind of like, who's got the biggest bouquet of flowers getting delivered to them, and those that didn't kind of like feel a bit. I wish I got one. Kind of think, I wish one of those was one. I guess it makes a woman feel special. Okay, then she's had that display of affection in front of everyone, saying, look how much I'm loved. I've got a man that actually considers, and how much he
Yeah,
ordered
but
for
the
me.
operative word here is look how much I'm, you see. So that's what it's about. It's
Yes,
about the show.
it
of
is the
gift for
show.
other
Unfortunately, it is yeah, it is a
people.
lot
Look
about.
at me. Yeah.
But back though, it is a bit of human nature.
Well,
We
it's important
we
to
like
feel loved.
it's important to feel loved, and a bit important. I guess a lot of people want the social recognition, a bit of adulation, and a bit of envy from others, and so it makes you feel feel special if other people are envying you. Come on, just a look. What about the blokes that shows off his new car? You know, look at the car I bought. Come around, have a look
Well,
at
it's
the car.
usually trying to get more girls.
Yeah,
By the time.
I was showing it off a bit like that. Okay, but you know what I mean. A bit of an envy. You have the blokes version, and then there's the women's version of it. I mean, I don't know if blokes actually show off what their woman does for them.
Well, there's a good reason for that.
No, because she doesn't. You're going to say she
They
does.
don't do very much at all.
God. No, I did tell you, I was
They
reading.
nag. They nag. They keep you in alignment for how to run your life.
Well, because they didn't pick the right woman. You see, I was reading an article about anyway. This guy, was saying, "Oh, this bloke at work. Okay, apparently his wife told him, don't waste money on an oversized ring. Save it for our house deposit." And she actually packs his lunch for him to go to work, and feels that we cut out little love hearts and things like that.
What?
And she goes to work, and all us blokes were teasing him about that, but secretly we were also envious that he gets that. They were also jealous. They wish they had that. So saying, you see, so what's the difference? He picked the right woman, the others didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
It all comes
Or
down
so
to
it
that.
appears.
So yes, well, everyone's envious, and she's been going on. It's not like a once-off for show. It's consistent.
There are some good people. There's no doubt about
Yeah,
that.
but unfortunately, they get overlooked, and that's something we'll talk about
I think
later.
the key to a relationship, however, is you've really got to look at the perspective of not from the self.
Yeah, as well.
How does the other person feel? So,
Yeah, but before,
Maya.
yeah, though,
Oh, what a show.
what a show it's going to be. Though before we
Should I
get,
just run now? There's the door. Run for the hills.
okay, though before we get to that, what we do, we'll go to some music, and we'll be right back. I want to talk a bit, go through the origins of Valentine's Day. I think that's important. Yeah, we'll go through a bit of that, and enlighten some people and reminding people that the origins and how it came to be. I guess some people are pretty curious about that. And now today, in particular, we are discussing Valentine's Day. Yes, just around the corner. And it seems just an event, not really a holiday, but seems to be some sort of celebration. And so I thought, yes, I know it's roses are red and hearts are red as well, all around. But let's have a look and discuss about, look into the origins of why we actually had Valentine's Day, how it came to be. And I had a look, and it's been suggested that the holiday origins was came from the Roman festival of Lupercalia. held in mid-February. And this festival, which celebrates the coming of spring and included some fertility rituals and the pairing off of women with men by lottery. What do you think of that, Bluey? Luck of the draw, hey? Gives you meaning to the luck of the draw. Okay, and then
The day in your calendar.
at the end of the 5th century, Pope Gelasius first one forbid the celebration of Lupercalia, and is sometimes attributed to replacing it with St. Valentine's Day. But the true origin is rather vague, but it did not come to be celebrated as a day of romance until about the 14th century.
Wasn't it because some monk was secretly marrying people?
Yeah, something like that. I heard about that.
Yeah, and he wasn't supposed to. There was an edict down because the war or something like that. They didn't
Yeah.
want people marrying.
Well,
But he used to do it anyway.
Yeah,
And
to
people
spare
would
the
bring him-
husbands from war. I don't know,
He
maybe.
got caught, didn't he? And then then people used to come and visit him and give roses because to say thanks for marrying us.
Yeah, something like that. But that is a sweet thing. I mean, maybe the rule, obviously the rule back then would have been married men not go to war or something. That's why he was marrying couples so the husband didn't go to war.
Maybe.
Well, nowadays it doesn't matter at all.
Maybe a lot of blokes would rather go to war.
Than get married. Married is such a life and death death struggle. I know some men would agree with you, especially those that have been bitten quite badly. But and again, so
But apparently he was executed on the 14th of February.
yeah. Oh, was it? Yeah, the actual
And
14th.
then he wrote a letter to the jailer's daughter or something.
Yeah, something like that.
About,
Mm.
and he signed it
From your Valentine.
Your Valentine.
Yeah, by some accounts, he healed her from blindness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that priest. So it's
Blind in
martyred
love,
St.
or-
Valentine's.
Was he blind in love?
Well, I think it was a priest. He was not supposed to, though we do know they're naughty ones. But given he's being made a saint, then
Yeah.
it should be the good one.
So it started off with pretty dark origins.
Mm-hmm.
But
Fertility festival.
yeah, but then it seemed to have transpired or transformed into the Day of the Heart.
Yeah, their heart. Yeah, we cannot have too much love. The more love, the better. In this world and in our lives. Well, no one.
Depends what the definition of love
Well,
is.
the thing is, can you?
There's so many definitions.
Look, everyone wants to be loved. I mean, I don't think you can find someone that says, "No, I don't want love. I don't want to be loved." You know, hate, anger, whatever, but I don't want love. Come on, everyone literally would like to be loved. Yeah, but no, maybe not in the form that it's been given to them
Yeah.
on that thing, but in the true essence, people want to be
Yeah,
loved.
of course.
Okay.
Of course. Everybody wants love and everybody deserves some form of love.
Yes, they all
I
do.
remember watching this sort of, there was a documentary and it was about homeless people.
Yeah.
And it so broke my heart. Like there was this lady that said that she'd never been touched by another person in over 12 years. And hardly even had a conversation with another person. She just lives on the street and
Well, she was really homeless.
it was like,
I'm
everybody deserves love. You know, if I was there, I'd probably just like to give her a hug.
hug.
Even
Oh,
though she might stink a bit, doesn't matter. You know?
just
But just to let you know that there's about human kindness.
Yeah.
around.
though that's why I guess some of them actually keep pets for the company, some form of love, and they get a lot of flack for it. I mean, you can hardly
Pets
look
on
after
Valentine's Day? The pets do.
Valentine's Day. Well, that could be a surrogate. No pets are surrogate children to a lot of people. You know, either because they choose not to or can't have children, and it becomes to a surrogate child.
The thing about it though is it seems like it's a commercialization.
Yeah, unfortunately it is. I mean, actually Hallmark started it. Hallmark, you know, the greeting card company Hallmark? Yeah, it started, selling Valentine's Day postcards in 1910. And then as postcards declined in popularity, it added greeting cards to the line in about 1913. It started
care
selling.
enough to send the very best. And that was actually a caption from Hallmark that stood for over 50 odd years.
Yes.
And my friend wrote it.
Oh, okay.
Well, former friend, he's passed away now. But
Okay.
obviously, yeah.
But what was that for? Was that for general cards or specifically?
Yeah, for Hallmark, so it's when you care enough to only send the
Send the best. Okay, that's a tagline. It's just like they do women with the, I think, hair care stuff are saying, because you're worth it. Kind of thing. It hits you right there.
Yeah, well, that's why I suppose Valentine's Day in America, they say it's $14 billion industry on that one day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is quite commercialized.
how many chocolates are sold?
Oh yeah, chocolates. Traditional gifts. Look, all the images you
Great
see.
for restaurants.
Yeah. Okay. Candy, flowers, red roses, symbols of love, and yeah, the guy either probably gouging. Yeah, a lot of the time you have all these. I've seen a lot of restaurants putting their Valentine's Day dinner menus out there, and it looks like double the price of what you'd normally pay. Whether individually, look, either because they can gouge because people are willing to pay on that day, or because it's supply and demand. A restaurant would only have a limited amount of seats, physically fit people in. And you have everyone wanting to go to the restaurant on that day, well, jack the price up. So, why not? Okay. Makes me say, look, at the end of the day, they're a business. True?
Yeah.
And I guess if it was you and your business, your restaurant, your business, I'm thinking the temptation to do it would be enormous, especially as everyone else is doing it too. You look around. Yeah, every other restaurant, everyone is doing it.
So do you get more downloads of your book on that day?
Hopefully. Well, it's there everyone. Go to the website makemarriagreatagain.net and download my free book and start reading.
The Valentine's Day edition.
Yeah. Okay. So you're thinking of a partner or looking at someone or even dating. Make sure you read it to know what you should actually be looking for.
So
Yeah.
apparently on Valentine's Day they used to sacrifice, wasn't it? Like sacrifice animals and then take the insides out and then whip people.
With people with blood to bless them with fertility.
Apparently so.
Well, they did
used
all
to
sorts.
run down the street and then
They do all sorts.
Find any woman they would whip.
Oh, okay.
Whip.
Well, it's maybe one step above the caveman about dragging her by the hair. But they did all sorts of what we call weird things back then, which we consider
I don't
weird.
see how that could be very romantic.
Yeah, I
running down the road with a whip.
with the whip, they're running away from it. So, look, it is. You have to say yes, it's gone full commercialized, but I guess it does look. While it's been very commercialized, I guess it still serves a function that day.
Do you think it'll stand the test of time?
Look,
In 50 years' time or so?
Probably because everyone wants love. Love is universal. Like I said.
Isn't that, like, is it turn on, turn off because of the day?
I mean, I guess it's like, reminds us a day of promoting and showing affection, if nothing else, to your significant other. Kind of a reminder, yeah. Oh, today, yeah, I should treat it right, or do something special, or that sort of thing, or spend time together. I mean, even if someone's been married for like 20, 30 years, I guess it's something, a day you're going, okay.
I know this is the radio, but when you were saying that, you had a big smile.
Well,
It gets women.
I'm the relationship whisperer, and this is a relationship show, so I've got to show the same passion. I've got to show the same passion. I'm encouraging everyone else too, all my listeners, about love, and it's a celebration of love and romance. But what I also encourage people to do is make sure that the love you show today is not just for one day, okay, and then it's over. And then people go back to being being themselves, all right? Being on their best behavior for one day. But yeah, make sure it's not a one-off, because that would be snarky.
So you want chocolates every day?
not necessarily chocolates. Like I say, look, you don't have to buy the overpriced flowers or pay the jacked up prices at restaurants on that day. It's a demonstration that you care, and it's a demonstration, and you can demonstrate it in other ways, a lot of other ways. I mean, for one thing is cooking dinner for your partner instead of going out. Maybe cooking both of you your favorite dishes, not just for your partner, but what you would like as well. If you don't happen to not like the same things, or take a walk along a beach and things. These things are very low cost. It just shows thought. And affection, and your affection, that you put thought into it. Yeah, fair enough?
Gotta put thought into it. Okay.
Yeah, it's only in a few days' time. I mean, what is it? Going to be, Friday coming up.
Friday?
Yeah, Friday the 14th instead of the 13th. That would be bad. Okay, yeah, but yeah, it's always on the 14th anyway. What am I saying? Valentine's Day. Okay, so things like that, and like I said, bit of a competition, and especially with ladies, because ladies are a lot in love. Well, is keen on love and relationships, and kind of like.
Somebody once mentioned it was really quite striking that women's thoughts.
Yeah.
Like it's like 90% of women's thoughts are based on relationships. And that to me was like.
I'm surprised.
That was.
You mean things that they wish for, or they actively think about?
Regarding relationships, the women are more,
into it. Look.
That's what an old lady's mentioned, that she says 90% of women's thoughts is based on relationships.
Oh, okay. Women are far more interested into their men. Yeah.
It's hard to quantify how much percentages, but
yeah.
There's also the thing called money.
Yep. But it is.
To the other. On Valentine's Day.
What do you mean, pigeon?
The pigeon, the bird. The pigeon, the bird. You know the pigeons that fly in the air.
Oh, you mean where they release the doves at the
no
ceremony? What do you mean?
What did one pigeon say to the other pigeon on Valentine's Day?
Okay, what?
I don't know why I love you like I do.
I do. All right, Bluey's back. Apologies. We had some technical issues with his microphone, and so
She just cut me off because I was talking too much for other men. So
it's now fixed, as you can hear. So
I was talking about how commercial Valentine's Day is. 30 odd billion or something.
How many billion?
Boxes of chocolates? I think it's 16 billion in the US.
Oh, okay. And just imagine how much worldwide it is. Though I think, in some countries it's forbidden because it's seen as a Christian holiday. And I was reading up on it. I think Saudi Arabia has forbid it for a long time, until very recently that they were allowed to. I mean, as I understand it, people are not allowed to sell red roses on that day. Anything that has some semblance of Valentine's Day or hearts or things like that, and so people could only do it privately, celebrating Valentine's Day privately. But I think people used to get around it by shopping before that day and things like that. But I think now, I guess they just say, oh, whatever. I gave up on that. It's a shame. And I look, even though it is a Christian tradition, let's say historically of Christian origins, the saint, I don't think people in the world really think about it generally as being a Christian thing. I think more of it's a love, and I think love is just so universal. Wouldn't you think? Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I just spot. But also, like I said, yes, the amount of I've noticed that the stores come Valentine's Day, the catalogs come out. Yeah. We've got this chocolates in a heart box. Heart shape or heart shape box. Yeah. What do you call it? Chocolate hearts in red foil covering. Yeah. And because I used to work in the confectionery section of a department store once upon a time ago when I was in uni for extra money. And yeah, and you imagine it always brings in, and people were enthusiastic about buying chocolates back then, special editions. And I remember one year there was a thing, a chocolate body paint.
Chocolate
Body paint jar. And there was it was like a almost like a yin yang. One side of it was like milk chocolate, and one side of it was white chocolate. It was some Belgian chocolate, and it was selling out like evers. So you kind of like body paint. You can just imagine what.
Brush with it.
Yeah, you got to brush with it too. Can't remember how much it was, but
Did
it
you
was.
have to heat it up?
No, it's saying. So I imagine that it was selling very well at Valentine's Day. So imagine what it's used for.
Feel like a black man.
Being painted and chocolate body paint. If you kind of get the idea what it's for or used for. But apparently, look, I never bought it or tasted it.
Well, oh my goodness gracious! You didn't buy it?
No, I didn't buy it. Well, what am I going to do? Lick myself? But apparently, I heard it was very nice chocolate as a you can use it as a topping. I haven't seen it sold or things like that sold recently.
Applied to.
Oh, what are you? Oh, okay. What it's being painted on, I guess.
I think it would be largely determine the taste.
Spoil the taste. Though I was good seller of chocolate because I eat there was lots of broken chocolates back then, and I'll still be my size. And you have people going up and say, "How can you still be this size when you're working here? Don't you eat it?" And my co-worker said, "Oh yeah, she eats a lot of it." It was just my luck then. About my size. But anyway, the other thing is that Valentine's Day, it's almost a competition amongst women, an unspoken competition. And it's saying like, I don't know, ask each other, well, what did your partner do for you Valentine's Day?
You go to a factory or something or like a place of work, and all the blokes are all sitting around at lunch, and they're all talking about how excited they are for Valentine's Day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
All these guys sit around and they all say, God, I can't wait. Valentine's Day's coming.
Ooh, we don't know what I'm going to get or what I'm going to have to do. Which one is it? All right. If anyone didn't get it, you can hear the sarcasm dripping.
I think it's more like, oh no.
Whatever. Not another thing I have to care about, and what men end up doing, buying or something on the day and get ripped off, eh?
Well,
because don't plan ahead.
Yeah. Plan ahead.
Well, it's kind of, well, look, I can understand the men's dilemma. It's almost like, damn, I don't really want to do it. And kind of like, if I make it wrong, if I don't do it, I'll get an earful. But if I don't do it right, I'll kind of like, get the silent treatment. Or maybe the silent treatment either way.
Yeah.
Maybe she won't exactly say why.
Show, so we might not go further there.
But you know what? He might not, unbeknownst, doesn't know why she's giving me the silent treatment. Because men can be, as I said, men are not usually very cluey on these things.
So is it a general consensus that women have also got to do something nice? Or are they just looking to receive?
Well, it depends who's the giver and the receiver. Okay. Well, the chocolates, look, the things about Valentine's Day is what can you actually give a bloke? I don't think he'll. I don't think he'll particularly.
There's nothing you can give a bloke.
I don't particularly. Well, that's real romantic, isn't it? I don't think he'll like flowers or much of a chocolate either, unless it's dark. What was it?
Just forget about the bloke then.
Liqueur chocolates. Maybe he gets something special at the
painted on chocolate.
Yeah, maybe he gets something at the very end of dinner.
Okay.
Okay, maybe that'll be making more.
Hardware store voucher.
I think it's a family show. I think you know what I mean. You get some special treatment. So, and I think you're more than happy with that.
Oh, you do you?
Yeah. No. Or that, or a slab of beer. Eh? Is it still the slab of beer?
Depends what kind of beer it is.
I don't think they put out romantic beer. Yeah. Yeah, the market for beer is basically men. So I don't know why some of these lefty beer companies think they can try to get women, market to women, and saying women do not drink beer, men drink beer.
Yeah, they're into petite beers now, and they're trying to.
Oh, craft beers they call them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got the chocolate beer.
There's such a thing.
And the white chocolate beer.
Oh, God. Well, it shows you how much I know about beer or interest in beer. It's like zilch. I've got no to be a beer person. And someone,
You
what?
should be drinking beer when you're out on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's in.
Because if you have to fart, you've got to hold it in.
You hold it in, or you spoil the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting a sore stomach.
You spoil the moment. Spare the slap and spoil the man. Instead of spare the rod and spoil the child.
Something like that.
Yeah. So really, no, seriously, for a man on Valentine's Day. What is it to him? It's just like, oh.
Well, it seems like a chore in some.
It's a chore.
Instances, or whatever. I don't know. Really, I suppose it's yeah. Probably some people like it. I don't know, but it seems like very commercialized.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And I think that the key aspect of it is that every day should be special.
Yeah. The love on that day, like I said before, it should be more than one day.
Yeah, it's a bit like almost like having a label on some item that, it's just based on the label.
Yeah, kind of like
based on the
fulfilling
labeling
an
or-
obligation.
Yeah.
But then again, also Valentine's Day, you think
And I
about
think that's what the men don't like so much.
don't like
Because I think men are a bit, it's like,
it's
set
pushed
up as
and expectation and
Yeah.
obligation. But then again, what about the other days, like even Mother's Day? Okay, yeah, you do love your mum every day.
Yeah, if
but-
you don't go and see your mum, she'll get upset.
On Mother's Day, so it's a thing because everyone else is going. If she
Yeah.
doesn't, she feels missed out. She feels hard done by, and she kind of like, I missed out, and maybe her friends would say, oh, my son or daughter it took me out to this place for lunch on Mother's Day and gave me this and this. So what did your kids do for you? You can understand. Yeah, but then again, it's also like peer pressure to up the Joneses. But just imagine with blokes for Father's Day. If they don't get anything for kids, they feel a bit, or any call or any acknowledgement of that day.
Yeah,
You feel like, where are you going? Neglected. Would that be a fair term?
well, they could always go down to the hardware store and get a 2GLF.
See, for themselves. For themselves. But it's just like,
at the hardware store.
it's just the acknowledgement, I guess. More that. Even if it's no gifts, it's just, calls and so forth, and happy Father's Day, or happy Mother's Day, or so forth, or darling, happy Valentine's Day. Even if there's no gifts given or thing, it's just more an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day, darling, I love you. That doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good gift,
Yeah.
isn't it?
That placates the heart.
That's what we should be doing.
Or saying at least that. No. So, kind of like saying, if you think about it, if you analogy of like Mother's Day and Father's Day, yeah, it's just an acknowledgement. Even though you might love your parents every day of the year. Okay? But just on that day, kind of like, special acknowledgement on that day. In a way, it's almost ceremonial. A bit of a ceremony kind of thing. Smacks of it. I wouldn't say, look, it's not ceremony, but smacks of it. But yeah, if people understand in that context, then think of it in that context, then they understand that, yes, people just, your partner just wants some type of acknowledgement kind of thing, or something just a little special.
So what would be the perfect Valentine's Day for most women?
Well, it depends
if it was a perfect world.
if they're keeping up with the Joneses and with a thing, then yeah, the flowers.
Champagne breakfast.
Yeah, yeah, or yeah, breakfast in bed in the morning. Yeah, okay, acknowledge. Yeah, well, I don't quite get
Made you
that.
some porridge, love.
No, I don't really get the thing about breakfast in bed though. If you wake up, normally you have to go to the toilet, wouldn't you? Then if you wake up and then
Well, that's so romantic, isn't
and then don't you do you go then yeah brush your teeth and then hop into bed and wait for breakfast, or do people just wake up and get before they do anything have breakfast in bed? So it's a bit yeah. I never really work at it. I really know about how that works. You know, yeah, the thing about breakfast in bed. Do they eat straight away when they just wake up and haven't gotten out of bed, or got up and took care of their needs
Well,
first
coffee's
and
always a good start.
needs to jump back in before brushing teeth or after brushing teeth? That's the thing.
Well, sort of coffee could hide it a bit.
Okay. But yes, so that though it sounds all romantic and so forth, that's one thing I don't quite get with that breakfast in bed part.
Well, yeah. Yeah, they can get porridge all over your bed sheets. You know who wants that?
Yeah. That's what I know. That's why I think they market and they sell those special tables for breakfast in bed. Yeah, like those. Yeah.
So they've even commercialized
Yeah,
that.
they've even commercialized that. You know. Well, would you blame them and say you identify a need? Let's fill it. Fill it. Okay. I mean, meet the market. There's market demand there. I tell you. But
Instant breakfast. Just stick it in, just press the button and it's ready.
yeah. Okay. Oh, come on. You've got to expect a bit more than that. Not just
So what else would you like to do in the day? So it's breakfast in bed, champagne.
champagne. I guess yeah. If you're going to go the whole yards, I guess it's yeah flowers at work if it's a work day, and so forth, and or look if money's object. I guess they just go. They just say stuff it. We know we're going to get gouged on this day. Let's go to lunch or dinner. If that happens to be a weekend or so forth. Or I guess if it is a work day, then I guess it's dinner. Or you can just cook. Well, deck out the tables.
You could put your playlist. Cook at home and have your listen to 2GLF.
2GLF, yeah.
Put your playlist.
How
on.
it's absolutely romantic,
Yeah.
especially listening to this show in
You
particular.
ain't nothing but a hound dog. You ain't never caught a rabbit,
Yeah,
then you ain't no
friend of mine. So I tell you, there was one good thing about Valentine's Day. I said if it happens during a weekday, it's actually easier for a lot of married men that have something on the side. Yeah. Then it falls on the weekend. I saw an article on that once. One day when Valentine's Day was the weekend. Because normally, I guess if they're going to work, it's a weekday, they get to pop in and see the other lady.
Right.
Or send flowers to the other ladies
But at
on
the
that day.
weekend,
Weekend, they can't. They have to be at home
You have to be out of town.
or with a wife. So there's for the naughty ones, a bit of inconvenience and convenience. It's a weekend or weekday. But
Maybe that's why the day was sort of set up so that you could catch everybody out.
yep. So men are buying what? Those naughty men buying 2 or ordering 2 bouquets of flowers and 2 boxes of chockies.
Well, just in case you could always say just in case you didn't like the first one.
They're going to different addresses. Though, look, another thing is on that day, while, people that are in partnership and couples pair off and spend the day together or acknowledge, what about those that are single? Okay.
How do they feel? How do women feel when they're by themselves?
By themselves, or, so it's also a day when some singles...
Because I know people feel that on Christmas, don't they? They feel that.
Really alone if they don't have family. Yeah. That's when it really hits them. And a lot of people, unfortunately, a lot of people commit suicide on that day, on their home alone, and they get so depressed. They feel the world.
Only a day. I mean,
No,
just put a movie on.
No, it's they feel like it really hits them that they're alone because everyone they know, is off with their family, spending the day with their family, and they have none. I guess it really hits home for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess with the Valentine's Day, then it really hits home for people, the singles, that especially if they're not single by choice. That is really sad. They really feel lonely and they really feel their singlehood. I mean, there's some people that kind of think, some decide to do something about it. It's kind of like, I'm sick of being single. So they either go online and do online dating, or they go to dating agencies where, particularly around Valentine's Day, business for those businesses, the love industry, shoot up as expected. I mean, I think registrations for on dating sites, memberships, shoot up, as well as dating agencies get more people through the door. Because people are saying, okay, I need to do something about it.
Goodness.
Yeah. But you can understand because it really hits home. And people are lonely. I mean, like it or not, we're human. Yeah. And like I say, we want love, we want companionship. Even people that go around saying, I'm fine by myself, I don't need anyone. But at the end of the day, I guess after a few years or some time, they're thinking, I'm really lonely. I want someone. Maybe God send me someone.
It sounds like a title of a song.
Yeah, that sort of thing. They may pray for it, or go to a dating agency, or hop online. I'm sick of this. I need someone. It gets the better of us, I mean, we all have our limits, and it's just a matter of time. I mean, some people, the need to always be in a relationship. Like if they're ending one, they always make sure like they've got one ready to go.
Well, the old joke is that most women are like chimpanzees.
I don't think that go down well with our female listeners.
They don't let go of one branch until they're holding on to another one.
Something like that. Or some people, they say, look, if I have one, it's all right. Have one, I have one. If not, I'm fine. Or I'll wait for the next one. Or some people really adamant, no, I don't want anyone, so to speak. But look, really, end of the day, even though they might say it, I guess in the hearts of hearts, they are lonely and they just want someone to know they're special someone.
Yeah.
So go looking, but you know what? That's something we'll need to talk about, is what men and women are looking for. And we'll go to some music and we'll be back and we'll be talking about this big topic. Yeah, very important topic. Now that I've, you're standing in and being the male voice for today on this important subject. So now, to make marriage great and to get married, well, we first got to find a partner, don't we? Okay, and part of finding a partner, they've got to, I guess, people need to see what they like. And the thing is, what do they look for? So, I've got Bluey in the studio today, providing the man's voice. So, big question. I mean, women, I think, is pretty common knowledge what they like and what they look for.
Cheating.
I think a bit more than that. But anyway, going to bat for the women. Look, at the end of the day, it's all about human nature. Okay. And I guess underlying everything is, look, we want a partner, look for a partner or get married or whatever to find happiness, our lives better. I mean, no one goes and say, I'm going to find a partner to make, expecting my life to be worse, do they? We expect it to be better. Yeah. Okay.
A lot of our relationships are based on, because we as humans in our imperfect state, we're subjected to fears and uncertainties and worries and anxieties and so on. And so we sometimes, often, for the most part actually even perhaps, is look to subjugate that fear through another person. So you actually feel less fearful. I mean, just imagine if you're walking through a misty field at night or something, and you're all alone and it's really dark.
Yeah.
And you hear a crack or a snap twig, and you go, "Oh, that must be something is going to chomp me up to bits," or whatever. Our minds go into the worst form. Straight away we think, "Oh, this is the," we immediately sort of come into the moment of fear.
Yeah.
You see. But if we're with another person, and especially if that person's somewhat strong, cut it out, it's only a bunny rabbit jumping on whatever. And you see, and so it subjugates our fear. And a lot of relationships are perhaps a hedge around our fears. So we look to offset our fears by another person.
You mean a form of security? There's a security in a relationship. I mean,
fears you're going to be alone, fear you're going to die alone.
There's no one else to help you if you get in trouble, or so you don't have basically backing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. There's someone else that has your back.
A hedge around our fears.
No, it's basically holding hands.
A relationship can be great. It's not just about that. It can be like intimacy, into me, see, and all of that, and it can be beautiful. It can be uplifting and so on. But in our, there's I suppose there's multiple aspects to it, isn't it? That fear and also that desire to be touched. The desire to be touched by another human.
Yeah, it's a union.
Intimacy. I mean, being vulnerable in that. And so, but it's tricky. And so what do we look for? A lot of the times it's, I know on your show you often mention that people choose the wrong partners often, and you're absolutely correct. There's no doubt about it. It's a big decision to make.
Yeah, people don't put the importance that it deserves, that it should be.
Yeah. But a lot of the times it's because that they sort of got to take what you can get.
It's horrible to say, but it is true.
A lot of people,
it is true.
They can spend years by themselves, and then
it's whatever you can get, and it's just unfortunate the case, or people end up were settling, basically settling.
Where have all the good men gone? Where have all the good women gone?
Settling. And they settle, but the thing is, people don't actually. This is the thing I've realized and I've observed, is that people know what they want, but few people know what they actually need, or really realize what they actually need. Really think about what they need rather than what they want. Of course,
but there again, a very premise of a relationship is a togetherness, and then it's what I need, or I'm looking for what I want. And that's from the self, the position of the self.
But then if you're both self, if you both know what you need, and yet you are what the other person needs, then that's fine, isn't there? So you fulfill both sides. Then it's no longer just it is what I need. It has to be what I need.
We've heard about arranged marriages always seem to work out so well.
Well,
there should be a department for that, shouldn't there?
Absolutely should be.
I can't choose.
I can't choose.
I can't seem to get it right.
Look, this is the thing.
I want to sign up to somebody who can choose for me.
And the divorce rates amongst arranged marriages is a lot lower than when people have their choice from themselves. I mean, you would have think theoretically,
you've got the peer pressure from the parents, haven't you? You can't sort of, you don't want to let them down, perhaps. I don't know.
And maybe, but look, a lot of people kind of like saying, it's because of the society. If there's arranged marriages, mean that there's unlikely you can't divorce or divorce easily because of societal pressures or government or whatever. The people put it on society, but it's not necessarily. But hang on, okay, even without it, you've got all this freedom to choose and to live together or spend as much time as you can getting to know each other, which is a criticism about what criticism of arranged marriages is. They don't get to choose or find out about the other person. With all that, but there's still terrible divorce rates. That means people are not getting it right, even with all that freedom to choose.
But why do you think there is such a vast amount of divorces these days compared to the generation not too long ago?
Because back then people really are sticking to the tradition what they need rather than what they want. And I guess a lot of instances. It's a lot of things, okay?
Do you think it's societal changes?
Society, but back then
internet,
also,
internet and things being more accessible, like
yeah,
with this
before,
godlike technology.
yeah,
in our back pocket?
before, you were limited in how you meet someone. If you were introduced through someone or just happened to meet each other at a gathering or so forth,
There was
yeah.
no swipe left or swipe
No,
right. Them
none
days.
of that. So people actually cherished and valued, the people that they meet, and also they put more effort into it. I'll say.
Well, they used to go to things called discos. You remember?
But even but that's by chance as well. But but the thing is with the arranged marriages, like I have to say with the parents, there's a few things. Parents know their child well, so they'll know what the child actually needs. Yeah, and because they're not emotionally involved, they make a rational
That's
choice.
a good point, isn't it?
Rational choice without the emotion
Yeah.
into it. You know,
Mum always knows best.
I mean, you might be spellbounded by that hot-looking girl, but your mother would look and say, "No, that's all there is to it." Yeah, that's all. She wouldn't. She would look through and say, "Well, there's nothing. There's no substance to her."
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get after a year when it wears off, that effect wears off, and and then what's left? Then you'll see it. You're no longer spellbound. It's just like, okay, wow, you look at you inspect an apartment. There's great views on this from this apartment. We move in. After a while, he becomes really jaded because he keeps seeing that view all the time, every day. Don't you?
Well, that which initially attracts.
Yeah.
Have you noticed? After a while, it can even turn to disgust.
Of course. Well, just like that great views on the apartment you move into is great, and then after a while
you don't notice it anymore.
You don't notice it. Then you notice all the other inconveniences. It's actually rather far from your workplace, and so your father travel, and then and also there's not many shops around. You actually go a bit further, or the lift's not right, or that things like.
Good in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning, but then
you start picking out all the faults.
Yeah, so
and the other thing about relationships is that we usually peacock,
with a show off.
Like we show off the feathers and say, look at me and all that. But once all the feathers are all folded away, type of thing, the ugly psyche
rears its ugly head.
Rears its ugly head.
So this is when you're saying the peacock. This is what in real life those Friday night drinks at the bar is.
Yeah.
You say
parking the Ferrari out the front.
Yeah, I say after work, the men there and the women.
Forget your phone in the car, come back and beep 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 beep, so everybody can see you getting into it.
The peacock effect. Is it more men or women?
Well, it's both, isn't it? I mean, you just look at consumer society. Nearly everything is based upon this sexual impulse. The way we dress, the way we look. I mean, women put the paint on their face.
War paint, as some would call it.
They're out for war.
Out to win a battle, as I say.
And men, they do the same things, and nearly all men's decisions as well, or a lot anyhow. Yeah. So, what a tricky subject matter.
Well, yes.
Imagine being a specialist in this.
Yeah, you've seen it in action? Well, they offer to each other at Friday night drinks, and they,
Well, it's all based on the bottle of wine, isn't it? I mean.
And how long it goes.
It loosens up the conversation a bit.
But then all preening and having a look and see what's around, both sides.
Yeah.
Or do the women just sit there and looking around and waiting for a guy to come up and offer to buy a drink?
Or seeing who's liking them on their screen, and usually that's a lot of the time that people are checking phones is to actually see if they're loved. They're checking out to see, who loves me. Or
you're talking about Facebook, or you're talking about
anything, really. It's anything. It's
or text messages or things like that.
Yeah. We're always looking to see if we're loved.
Because we all desire love, as I say. A bottom line.
Yeah. Well, we all deserve it. We all deserve love. even the most heinous of us, we still deserve some form of loving. Adolf Hitler.
Yes. Okay, I think you caught yourself there.
Dear. Yeah. Oh, God.
But yeah, as it comes down to, look, it's all instinct, and
But what
women.
you're saying about the apartment with the view,
Mhm.
one of the key ways to know if a person is good for a partnership or not is to slow down your internet speed and see how they react. If they react.
Oh, okay.
I read that as a joke. It says
You're trying to be playing hard to get.
If it's a good person for a relationship, is slow down your internet and see how they react.
Another way of saying. Another way of saying,
Okay, I'm not going out with her anymore.
play hard to get, right? Another way of saying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, look, it should not be about playing games or anything.
Yep.
It really should be about,
Well, what you see is what you get. Yeah.
yeah, actually being honest and open, and say, and really think about what you need.
Well, the premise of relationship really should be based on some level of, well, it's supposed to be fun, isn't it? You're supposed to enjoy each other's company. You're supposed to
It needs to
feel-
happen naturally.
Yeah, you're supposed to enjoy each other's company, and you're supposed to feel one in your, you know, people say, oh, they don't, you know, couples don't talk anymore or whatever, but sometimes you could be so close to someone that you don't need words.
Yeah, you know what that really means is, the people call it the same wavelength, but I call it the same mindset. You have to have the same mindset. It's very important. You can have different skills, you can eat different food, even talk a different language, whatever, but at the end of the day, that mindset has to be the same. Okay? That's very important. And once it is, everything else will fall into place, because the mindset also determines your values and your goals.
And do you think that cultural differences in relationships is an easy thing? Or?
Oh yeah, this is a big thing, like, about cultural differences. You know, like people for all, well, we're a global society now, and people travel more, and they meet other people from different cultures and places, and so, and people do fall in love and marry, and that's a great thing. However, it is not a common thing, and it's not a usual thing, and it's not easily done. I mean, even in multicultural societies or multiracial societies, say like Australia, the US, and all that, where you have people, even though they may be born there or whatever, it's still a difference. And I'll tell you why. You know, like some people go say, oh, you know, I know about the culture. I worked in that country or whatever for so many years or whatever, and I speak the language or understand the language, and I love the food or whatever. But that does not necessarily mean you would do well marrying someone from there. And I'll explain why. Because when you interact in a society, you interact socially, don't you? And it's the social interactions that you're used to, and you get what the social mores is. You can't do this or that. That is a certain culture. You need to take your shoes off before you enter the house, or that sort of thing, or serve someone first. That's all fine and well. But the way you interact, how you interact with people outside the home in the society, is very different from how you interact with the people in the family, don't you? There are things that you don't do outside in society with outsiders that you do with their family, and some things that you do with their family you don't do with outsiders. And the way you interact as well is different. And this is a thing. Even if you might have lived in that country for 20 years, doesn't mean you know how their family interacts in the family. You see? So that is very different.
Yeah.
So some people might get a bit like something so simple as, you know, you might say please and thank you for everyone else, but you don't do it in the family. And someone from another culture, that's not.
We seem to be more polite to strangers than what we do with those that are.
No, Yeah, some people perceive that, saying you expect the same from family as you do others, but others, the mindset, the thinking is that you need to be beyond that anyway, or that's superficial. You know that I appreciate it. I don't have to say it. It's the relationship should be beyond those things. So that's the thing. It's not necessarily the more ruder.
So we don't need the Valentine's Day then?
I think that's Valentine's Day is about a couple, not about society. You see. So this is the thing. Even though it doesn't matter about it, but speaking, eating the same food or whatever, it has to be the mindset. And so that's why
we've got to have our existence has to be based on ethics and morals.
Yeah.
We have to see how our moral compass is pointed.
Yeah. But that's why cross-cultural relationships and marriages don't necessarily work. And actually, I'd say it is difficult to work unless this is unless they've got the same mindset and unless they're the exception from both cultures. You see? So
for common ground. Okay. Common goals. You've got to have common objectives.
Yeah, but say for example, say Eastern and Western cultures. So Eastern cultures are a lot more conservative, than the Western culture.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So how do you marry or meet up? Pair someone from that's from a conservative culture with someone from a liberal culture. You would only
don't discuss politics.
No, you have to in the middle. So the exception from the conservative culture, one is far more liberal than any of their other compatriots, and someone from the liberal culture that's far more conservative than their fellow countrymen. So then you marry it. And so on those at the edges is where they can meet. So it's typically almost always not the typical or average person from either culture that meets up. It doesn't work because they're too far apart. So when people say, yes, it can work with the exceptions. So...
Well, it can work if people are conscious enough, I mean... No,
you have to be yourself. You can't act.
That's what being conscious is. You have to be yourself.
Yeah, you have to be yourself, and that means inherently, if you're from a liberal culture, you are actually at the conservative end of it, the very tip of the conservative end.
That sounds painful.
Yeah, or you're from an Eastern culture, you're at the very tip of being liberal of all your countrymen, and then that's how you meet. You can meet. So, if it makes sense. It's the exceptions from both, not the averages or not the stereotypical. So two words are too far apart.
It sounds like you do a lot of thinking about this.
Well, it's all in my book. It's all in my book. If you'd like to know more, go and for a free download. Free download. Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah, your complete partner, and you can download it on my website, makemarriagegreatagain.net.
You don't need to listen to the show anymore?
No, you still do.
There's always more.
There's always more.
And there's also
contemporary
2GLF FM, great music.
Of course. But also, of course,
yeah.
But I'll also talk about contemporary issues and things that come up in the news, of course, relationship related or society and related to men and women. That is relevant. So the book provides the foundation, but the shows would give you up to date info and dealing with up to date and contemporary issues, because it always changes, as you know. Yeah. It's the way it is. So look, like I say, that's why even in Australia and Australia Day, and that's been quite recent. They celebrate, yes, we're all one Australia Day, and while you socially live together as a country, but when you're at home, it's different.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, and it's one thing unless you're particularly close to someone enough to actually be invited into their family, you don't actually know. see the family dynamics. See that they are relaxed enough with you and see enough of family to let their guard down. I know someone said, oh, I've been to this country, it's great, and they were so polite and all that sort of thing. And I said, really? I said, yes, I was invited into their house and I stayed in their house as well. And they were so polite with each other and that sort of thing. I said, look, buddy, they were probably because you were guests there. That's why they put on put it on that mask of all. And so once you left, they're probably thinking, oh, glad he's gone. Good riddance. Now we can go back to being ourselves again. So you don't really know. But I have to say, I was, spent a few days with an Anglo family. It was the first time after all these years living in Australia and so forth that I was close enough to be invited in. I spent a few days in their home and it's really interesting. I saw the interactions and how they interacted with each other. And it was nothing bad or wrong about it. But I noticed it's just very different to what I was used to in the family. How they interacted with each other.
Okay.
And
Any
things they talked about. Yeah, there's nothing wrong, but the whole vibe of everything was just so different. And you're thinking about, that's the case. What do you expect from each other then? I mean, and then kind of like, well, it would not be easy. Okay, how do you marry and compromise, and so that you're both actually, if you're living together, you'd be comfortable with each other. This is another thing.
You've got to have a common goal, really, that's bigger than you.
Yeah, but also the other thing is being offended. Okay, there are some cultures that are far more sensitive than others.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, far more. And some
people can be easily offended for
the simplest reasons.
The sentiment can be, misinterpreted.
Yeah, and like I say, saying okay, I'll use this as an example because Asian culture, their threshold or their tolerance level for being offended might be up here, and so but the Western threshold might be down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing about the Western society is that a lot of it's based on humour. You see, in the offensive sort of things, like the Aussie larrikin type of thing.
Yeah, that's what
you got to really like the Aussie way of life is really
traditional. The larrikin base.
Yeah, and that's a great thing when you bring humour into things because there's nothing that helps the relationship more than humor. Having a laugh.
No, but there's also things like being offended. Like I say, sometimes a culture they said, well, we're beyond please and thank you in a personal relationship, but the other person might get offended. She didn't even say thank you.
Yeah.
We're saying, well, it's kind of like.
Well, it was like that joke before. In the beginning of a relationship, you don't fart.
That's the thing.
Flatulence is not an issue. Because you got to.
And the other person might think, oh, look, of course.
You just didn't let one rip there, did you?
No.
Thought I heard a noise. I'm only joking.
Oh, God. Oops, I might have just offended someone.
Feel comfortable with the audience.
But yeah, like it's been offended. One person, one party or one partner would say, oh, why didn't she even say thank you? The other person wouldn't because they're saying, hang on, of course we have to do this for each other and help each other. We're married. It doesn't need to be said.
Yeah.
And so, look, we've got someone with a threshold, offended threshold up here and one culture down here. If they do something in the middle there, they would not know that it's offensive because it's not offensive to them.
Yeah, you're unaware of it.
You're unaware because it's not offensive. They're not trying to be rude.
If you're not in feeling or intuitive enough to know that the other person's offended.
Yeah, because you're not.
You don't know.
Because it's not rude to you.
Unless it's brought to you and you don't really know.
You know, but the other.
We don't even know ourselves a lot until it's actually brought to us.
Yeah, but
you know you're
no, but that's what we can take. We can take that if someone's at that threshold, they can take it. It's not absolutely not offended. They do not find it offensive. Okay, but someone from down here said, so rude. So what do you do?
But
That's like a culture clash. That is a true culture clash.
Yeah, but our egos can be so easily wounded, easily, offended, and
No, but then it goes to
easily
culture.
hurt.
That becomes the culture. So what happens then? If you
But
got
then you need to be a good communicator, you see, and
But
it
you
also
don't-
depends on
but
how
then
you
you
communicate.
but then you kind of like then tiptoeing around each other and say no, so
No,
that's
not always. A lot of the times it's not tiptoeing. A lot of times it's screaming and ranting.
then
you see.
why it is
And so, therefore, it's the reaction, you see. Show them a slow internet speed, see how they react, as the joke goes. But
do not play games.
it's
You be
about
beyond
the-
playing games.
Of course. It's what you see is what you get. But, as what you just mentioned previously, is that some people react and some people,
But
don't
yeah,
react.
it's a difficulty. Okay, this is
You forgot Valentine's Day.
No, that's not being offended. That being offended. No, I'll tell you, this is a important point, and there's a difficulty. What if you have the woman? It's one thing. Normally, women are more offended than and more sensitive than men.
they're
Yeah,
more emotional.
yeah, more emotional. However, what if you have a woman from the culture with offended threshold up here, and the man from the culture from down there?
Like a strong Russian woman
Yeah.
or something.
And then they said, then the woman has to, have worry all the time. Maybe she's going to offend the guy and so forth. I think it's a ridiculous situation. The woman has to be worried about the man being offended and hurt feelings and all that sort of thing.
Well, it's equality, isn't it?
Ridiculous. And I was thinking the man's a wimp then. So,
And what's the woman?
okay, she's a strong woman then.
Oh,
No, so that's a friend. So
not
she's
just a
she.
schizophrenic
No,
bitch
she's then
from
being
hell.
she's then being the being the man wearing the pants, and the
Yeah.
man's being like a woman.
Well, I
so to
think
speak.
that's one of the big
And
things.
so then
I don't know if we know our roles properly.
Yeah, but
there's
then
no rule book.
No,
You
you
notice
don't.
There's no instruction manual for how to be manly or how to be feminine.
I don't think people they know how to be a man anymore. Men and then women don't know how to be. But then again, if men
It's gone down the gurgler.
if men complain that women no longer know how to be women, take a look at yourself. A lot of men don't know how to be men anymore. So you cannot criticize someone if you cannot do it yourself. Not sure if we managed to make marriage great again in this in the show today, but we did discuss a lot about Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day, a reminder, it is coming up on Friday the 14th. Yes, from St. Valentine's, as that saint. So our origins are a Roman festival, but then later on the Pope forbid the celebration of Lupercalia, and then replaced it with St. Valentine's Day. Okay? And it's been a day of romance since then. And I think it was really commercialized once Hallmark started doing Valentine's Day cards. Yeah? So, Bluey, what did you think? Yeah, really?
Valentine's Day cards.
Yeah, Valentine's Day cards. It's a time of seeing cupids around with red roses and hearts and teddy bears.
Here's one on the card that says, a guy knows when he's in love when he loses interest in his car for a couple of days.
Okay, is that a strong thing with men?
Well, some, yeah, of
The
course.
car obsessed.
Of course.
Yeah,
Car obsessed.
you know what? And we've got to, we'll continue because, of course, there's a lot to discuss. We actually haven't gotten to men and women what they want, but I will, for the benefit of the men, I'll explain an analogy with the cars, and then they'll get it.
Uh-huh.
That's our next show. Okay, so stay tuned.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Stay tuned for that. I mean, yes, look, Valentine's Day, it is very commercialized. Now, that's no doubt about it. How much did you say of chocolates were worth? How many chocolates were
Well,
sold?
apparently in America, that Valentine's Day's worth is $16 billion is spent on Valentine's Day
Every year.
in one day.
Okay, not just
Yeah,
chocolates, but
chocolates,
roses
wines,
and
probably
probably dinners and all that sort of thing.
Well, you used to be in the financial world. They calculate everything.
Bean counters, eh? So love and love seems to cost money, but not necessarily. It doesn't have to cost money. I mean, look, it is a day. Even though you might say it's all commercialized, it is still
Yes.
a nice day to acknowledge your relationship.
Yeah.
I see that as an acknowledgement day. So you don't have to spend and be ripped off
Yeah.
and be gouged by overpriced flowers and dinners. But-
It's to make the other people feel a bit special.
Feel
you know.
special. Yes.
They feel like they're loved.
For your
You know, that they're
partner.
respected and
Yeah. Just like you like to do
appreciated.
appreciate, just like you like to do it for Mother's Day or Father's Day. It's the same concept. Yeah, I mean, even though you might love your parents every day, and when you think some people think, oh, but I love them every day. Why do I need to show love on that day? Because the thing is, if you don't acknowledge it, they might feel left out, or not really left out. They feel something missing, and they'll feel sad. That the day of acknowledgement of them of mummy or daddy, they don't get a call even from the children. And it's like with your partner, it's that day. I mean, you don't even get acknowledgement from your partner. So even saying, Happy Valentine's Day, darling. I love you. It makes them feel good. I mean, and it's doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah. Actually, quite recent. Well, in Christmas Eve, I went to a nursing home.
Yeah.
And I saw these and this sort of ethnic people, they sort of celebrate Christmas on New Year's and Christmas Eve, and this lady was waiting at the door, waiting for her family people to come and visit on Christmas Eve, and nobody came.
Oh,
it was so,
did she invite people?
No, but she probably somewhat expected, because of that day, that when they celebrate it, that family would sort of be there.
Yeah.
And they weren't. And so you see what you mean. Like
it's an acknowledgement.
It felt like,
She wasn't thinking about it,
Because for me, I wouldn't really care less. I couldn't care less about if somebody came or not, or.
But most
and
people
a lot of
do.
blokes might not. And maybe when you get older, I suppose. But
If
I
it's
felt
a
it with that
loneliness.
lady. I felt it with that lady.
Yeah, it's a loneliness kind of thing.
Yeah. So I suppose the moral of the story is that I suppose we have to look outside of ourselves a bit more, because I think that the problem with society perhaps is that we're so self-obsessed, and
Consider others and
we should
anything.
consider others.
I mean, don't just dismiss it as saying, oh, it's just a commercial day or whatever. You do nothing, or just act like it's a normal day. Even just saying, darling, I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. That's
or
good.
just putting some thought behind it, like what.
Or just cook a dinner.
Yeah, it's
How
like,
about
today we can do this, we can do that.
Do that or so forth. Or, you cooking dinner, having dinner every day. Look, everyone has to eat dinner. That's something every day. But on that day, maybe cook a special meal.
So who does the cooking and who does the?
Well, depends.
Who's the one who feels special? Do you have a calendar?
Well,
this year it'll be me. Next year it'll be you.
it
It was you last year. It's my turn.
You can do that. However, how about cooking together? Or you know what? Because it is a weekday. It's on Friday, so expect people to be working that day. How about whoever usually comes home earlier, finishes work earlier, and that person does it. It makes no sense for the person to have come home hours earlier and sit down and waiting for the other person to come home and cook dinner. Come on.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Though I have seen that happen.
It happens a lot.
Come on. Be reasonable overall, okay? It's that's not the point.
The premise of most is what's in it for me, And then so you've got to sort of change that mindset, you really, haven't you?
Yeah, you really do. And that's something we can talk a lot again. So about. There's lots more to talk about. We haven't finished the discussion, Bluey. So we'll be, you're invited back next week.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay, more about on that. Yes, you
But
can.
not on Friday.
Not on Friday. Well, my show's on a Friday. Okay. Oh, you are busy on Friday, are you? Particularly this Friday?
No.
Okay.
No. Desperate and dateless.
Desperate and dateless? All right, a
But
reminder.
nonetheless happy.
Yeah, a reminder to everyone. You can follow my Facebook page. I have two. You can follow me on Miss Dragonfly, and also Make Marriage Great Again. I mean, please follow both if you can, but at least follow one. Okay, I do post different things on my Facebook pages, so follow both if you can. And also a reminder of my book that's available as a free download, Your Complete Partner. Okay, you just visit the website, my new website, makemarageGreatAgain.net. Okay, Net. Unfortunately, I was not able to get .com because after I think Trump put out Make America Great Again, I think someone just went up and signed up everything had to do with Make Great Again. So, okay, that was a commercial thing. That's more hogging than anything else. But I hope everyone's enjoyed the show. It's going, as you can notice, it's a totally different type of format I've got this year. And also later I will be able to, or you will be able to call me for relationship advice. So any pressing questions and so forth, you can call me up and and ask for advice. Okay, so that is in a later show. And if you'd like to comment on the show, please leave a comment on my Facebook page. And if there is a subject you'd like me to cover, then please feel free to leave it there as well. So I hope you've enjoyed the show, and I'll be back same time next week. So make sure to catch me back then. So until then, it's bye for now.